Steps in the note-taking process. Cornell note-taking is one of the most valuable and valued skills that you can develop as a college student. This skill will improve with time and practice, empowering you to more easily learn and retain information for the long term. This process is an essential skill which involves a complex set of competencies and a series of 7 steps. Creating the format, organizing your notes, reviewing and revising your notes, noting key ideas, collaborating and exchanging ideas, linking your learning by creating a summary, and finally, using your notes as an effective study tool. The first step in the note-taking process is to create the format for taking notes. This format is based on contemporary research on memory and learning theory. The cycle of learning integrated into this format takes you through the steps of questioning, summarizing, reflecting, reviewing, and assessing. The next step is to organize your notes. Organizing your notes helps you to show relationships between ideas and helps you separate important information from trivial information. Furthermore, it helps you recognize cues from your instructor identifying important information that might show up on a quiz or a test. It also helps you to recognize your instructor's particular note-taking style. Most importantly, time for you to reflect on your notes is built into the process. After completing your notes, it is imperative that you review and revise your notes, thereby interacting with your notes. When reviewing and revising, you should categorize information by highlighting and color-coding key information in your notes and adding in your own thinking. You should also effectively paraphrase information, identify unclear information, and add references both from and to other materials covered in the class. You should also feel free to use non-linguistic representation, such as symbols and graphics, to indicate what is important. The fourth step in the process is to note key ideas. This will help you to determine the purpose of the lecture or activity by composing questions on the left side of your notes that connect to key ideas. You should read and review the main ideas highlighted on the right side of your notes and create a question that is answered by the main idea. Perhaps one of the most important steps in the process is the collaboration and exchange of ideas. This collaboration may be between you and a partner, with a small group, or with the whole class, and can occur both in and out of class. Such collaboration helps you fill in gaps in your notes and clarify points of confusion as you identify key terminology and academic vocabulary. All of these components in this step will help you develop and practice revision strategies. The next step in the process is to link your learning by creating a summary. Writing a good summary of your notes can be accomplished by following these steps. First, identify main ideas to be used in the summary. Then, address the essential question in the summary. Be sure to use your notes for support as you write the summary. You should combine main ideas into concise sentences, then answer the questions on the left side of your notes to tie together main ideas. Finally, you should address remaining points of confusion in the summary. The last step in the process is to use your notes as a study tool. This will provide you with the opportunity to transfer your new knowledge from short-term to long-term memory. It also provides the opportunity to review your notes, questions, and summaries both individually and collaboratively, giving you the vital opportunity to interact with the material. It is crucial for you to review your notes for long-term retention. Taking good notes alone does not lead to internalization and retention of the material in the long term. You must do something with your notes after you have taken them so that the material remains fresh in your mind. Regular review of well-composed notes for a short amount of time leads to long-term retention, whereas one-time cramming for a longer amount of time leads to short-term retention at best. The curve of forgetting is based on research conducted by Hermann Ebbinghaus in 1885, who looked at 2 approaches to note-taking: simply taking notes and doing nothing else with them versus applying the 10-24-7 strategy. Let's first look at what happens when you take notes and do nothing with them. Ebbinghaus found that at the beginning of a lecture on day 1, you know nothing, or 0%. At the end of the lecture, you know 100% of what you know, however well you know it. By day 2, if you have done nothing with the information you learned during the lecture, you will have lost 50 to 80% of what you learned. By day 7, you remember even less, and by day 30 you retain about 2 to 3% of the original hour if you have not revisited or reviewed the information in one way or another. On the other hand, if you apply the 10-24/7 strategy, you will be able to retrieve the information when you need it. As before, at the beginning of a lecture on day 1, you know nothing or 0%. At the end of the lecture, you know 100% of what you know, however well you know it. Within 24 hours of getting the information, spend 10 minutes reviewing and you will raise the curve almost to 100% again. If you continue to spend only 10 minutes a day reviewing, a week later on day 7, it only takes 5 minutes to reactivate the same material and again raise the curve. If you continue in this fashion, by day 30, your brain will need only 2 to 4 minutes to recall most of the original information. This is obviously much better than the 2 to 3% you would have retained if you had not reviewed at all. Remember, regular review is far more effective than cramming at irregular intervals when it comes to long-term retention. For more information on these and other AVID critical reading strategies, contact your content or seminar instructor or seek help in your AVID Student Center.